All right. What's up, guys? Sniper Nick and Sniper Hoops.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
We are in the house today, going over a quick review here of a trade that we saw. SAEX.
What a stock.
Crazy runner from. We're bringing it back. So this is actually Friday, January 11th, and we're just gonna go ahead and dive right in it. Like Al said, what a stock.
This is great. This is a great stock right here. This is a low float stock. You know, if you've been around the stock snipers, you know we love these low floats. If we look, the first thing we look at here is the daily candles. So each candle represents one day. And we look for the past. We look in the past to see if the stock has spikeability. And you can clearly see right here, this is what, September. It had a spike from $9 to $30. So, and you could go even back in July, it actually had a spike as well. So this stock has spikeability. It's a low float, and it, you know, it came on our radar when it initially started to spike, but we're going to talk right now about day 3 of the spike. So it had already spiked maybe over 100% or more coming into this day, and that's what we're going to discuss. And this is an awesome play. It happens a lot. It happens, not exactly the same way every time, but it's, the fundamentals of the setup is normally the same every time. And this is a really good one. So
Yeah.
let's look at this here.
Yeah, so let's dive into it here. So I'm switching it up to we'll go to the 10-day. We'll bring it to the 5 minutes just so we can fit it all in here. And as we go over this here, you can always look over here to the top right, and you'll be able to see the live time. And we're gonna go through the day. We'll fast forward a little bit just to get to where the actual move happened. But we wanted to start at the very beginning. First things first, starting with the minute candle, we wanted to go over these past days. Starting with this day. I think this on this day, when it had this big spike, this was already on the radar. It was, a lot of people in the chat room were talking about it. So we were watching SAEX, and then especially, even though it had a bad day for the rest of the day here, it kind of downtrended. It had a crazy spike at the end, and it came right back on our radar. Around here, I was actually looking at it, thinking about, this double bottom here.
Yeah, there's a double bottom on the first day, but it's tough. It's already, 3:45 when it was creating that double bottom. So it looked weak the whole afternoon, and it looked like it was going to close a week. So it was kind of just a reversal at the end, the last 10, 15 minutes, and made a nice push, but it wasn't really a push back towards the highs above 4. It was just kind of back mid-range into the 350s. But what it did was make a nice push after hours. So that, that shows the, the spikeability of the stock right there. And, buying near support can pay really nicely in a short period of time. So, that was the best buy of the first day, was buying, near the close there at the double bottom. It's very low risk. There's support there all day long. And if you didn't take this bag right away here, if you weren't taking profits on this dollar a share move, you're stubborn.
Yeah, for sure. But no, following up into that, that would have been unbelievable. And like I said, I was talking about around here, and then we saw it run up, and it made that move. It pushed and it made a new high. So again, SAEX, it has its legs, it could run. So we're keeping it on the radar. Now going into the next day here, going into the second green day. This was the first big bounce day, and now this is the second one. Pre-market, it starts off real shitty, so it looks like it's almost going to be, written off. But look what holds again, around this support here. 320 area holds, and it starts back up. And with this move here, it was a grind throughout the day. It got a nice, midday pop and came all the way up from 475. So again, it's showing its legs. And the power of a low float here, a power of a stock that can really move. And so, unfortunately for this day, it didn't close too strong. It ended up getting that dip and not really fighting back towards, the high. So we stayed away. We'd love to see that it would have heated up. But now we go into day 3. And again, keep in mind, guys, this is on the watch list from day 1. This was in the chat room from the beginning, in the chat room from this day, in the chat room on the second day. It was talked about a lot and analyzed a lot. And now we're going to go ahead and jump into the third day here. As this low float is still, holding its gains from the first 2 days. So let's see. We'll fast forward it a little bit to get through Let's go to midday and see how we're doing here.
Well, actually, it had a little test there. Well, that's fine there.
Oh, okay.
You know, this is what we talk about with anticipation. When you want to anticipate something, this is now day 3. A lot of people would write the stock off after it, you know, had a week open on day 2, and you know it kind of closed strong, but it was choppy. People were writing this off still, but you have to still keep this on the radar. And you know, a lot of people were buying here in the morning on day 3, thinking it could really go and spike past the 1, 2, 3 day resistance. But it really didn't. It didn't have enough volume. It had some good volume come in, but it couldn't break it. It was actually what, like 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a tough stock to trade. It's you know, choppy. It's listed stock, so you don't want to let your emotions take control of you on a trade like this. You have to trade it when it's really the most predictable. And you know, it could have had an opportunity here, but you have to recognize when it fails to break out. This is probably not going to set up anytime soon. I'm saying like in the next like hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when this breaks down at the 3-day resistance, where there's resistance for now 3 days, you know, it's just not, you know, it's not going to break, but you cannot take it off the radar. That's, you know, that's the biggest key. Mm-hmm. As it ended up this afternoon, this afternoon actually breaking.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff. So yeah, so now let's go ahead. We'll fast forward it to midday.
This is the time where people sold it off, actually writ it off, thinking it wouldn't hold, thinking it would fade on this day here.
Yeah, and like it came down, but it is holding a little bit. It's not really dipping too hard. So
3 days in a row, higher lows, lows at 3, lows at 350.
We'll go all the way to 2 here. So now, 1. So now we're at 130 here, and it's creating some support. You know, volume's still kind of weak. Morning volume was all right. You know, but the thing is, it's not failing midday, as you know, as you see with a lot of these crappy stocks. You know, they take big dips midday. This one is getting a hold here, and it's creating some support.
Yeah, so, it's definitely pretty slow midday, but you know, that's like you said, it's holding support, and that's the biggest key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so check this out. That's what I'm on. All right, so we're gonna go. Okay. All right, so check this out here. Still holding some support here as we creep into 2:30, and we're coming towards power hour here. You know, and that's one of our favorite times to play these stocks. You know, playing these stocks long, especially.
Yeah.
So.
And this is why it pays at this very moment. It's Friday at 2:30 p.m. This is why it pays to set alerts. If you're not watching the stock, you know that short sellers got in on the first day, shorting around 4. You know they got in on the second day, midday, shorting midday into that same 450 resistance. And you know short sellers were shorting again this morning, Friday morning, very foolishly, thinking that when it rejected, it's going to dip. So there's a lot of short sellers who are trapped in there right now, and it's 2:30, and they're worried. They're worried right now that the stock is not dipping, and they're going to have to buy the cover. Yeah. And inevitably, you know, this is a beautiful setup. It perks right there very nicely. Mm-hmm. You see the tape is flowing, the level 2s is flowing, and now it's approaching. It's approaching 4.6, 4.7, 4.8. All of those levels. 4.6, 4.7, 4.8 are all very key levels. If it gets out of that mud, the stock can really, really push. So, unfortunately, we didn't have the alert set, and we didn't catch this perk because actually right now it's actually break even. So it wasn't on our biggest gainers. It's only break even right now. So it's on our watch list with a group of a bunch of other break even stocks.
Yeah.
So once it actually comes on our radar as a gainer, it's a little bit too late, unfortunately.
And look, now it's coming green. This is almost an ideal situation. Yeah, exactly. The ideal here when you got, you know, you see the volume picking up a little bit. You get a little bit of a volume perk here with 102,000 coming in this minute. It just went green. Now it's back red, but it's right around that green to red area. And you know, like Al said, it's, you know, coming around towards the end of the day. Yeah. And it's holding that support with, you know, plenty of shorts trapped in there.
Yeah.
You see that it didn't break down midday. This is day 3. They got to be freaking out a little bit. It is now, you know, even though it's holding red, some of them probably think, they're safe right now.
Yeah, they think it's okay.
But I'm sure a lot of them are thinking, yo, we better exit this quick. It has some support here. So
and that's when you flip the mentality and you think, all right, now where am I setting the risk? Where is a good level that I feel comfortable with, that I know if it goes down, I'm going to get out. So right away we have 415 support, 420, call it 420 support, daily support. And then you also, in this afternoon, it had a little resistance at like 430. And then right here as well, what is this, 443? So all of this congestion right here is support. And, that's all those levels you can risk off. So if you feel more comfortable waiting later in power hour and waiting for that confirmed breakout of these resistance level like 475, then you could. But if you really feel good about the situation like this, you can get in right here at 450, 440 and risk off 420. You're only risking 20 cents. You're only risking 20 cents per share. And the upside of this, as you're going to see in a second, is massive. So, if you feel good about this, you can get in early. You get in early. But if not, you can still wait. There's still time to get in the stock at this very moment in time. What time is it now?
Yeah, it's
2:45.
2:45. So, and it's still flirting with the green at red area. So,
exactly. So you could let it, establish green.
Yeah, and you got some time to look at it here. So Let's check this out. So now let's fast forward a little bit. Let's check out what happens. So it actually comes back down.
Beautiful opportunity right here.
This is a huge opportunity here for a dip around 415.
Yep. This is where you're thinking, all right, if I want to get early.
255.
It's 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. I think I have an opportunity to only risk maybe 10 cents from the true daily support level. That's the way you got to really be thinking, because this could, it could really go.
Mm-hmm. And now check it out. After that dip, you get a nice rip here, and it passes, the high that it just made. And now we're getting a little bit of a move here, and it looks like it's actually looking like it could push to 483. And now we're green on the day for sure. So
yeah. So at this point, all signals have gone well for you in the last 20, 30 minutes. If you've been watching this since like 2:30, 2:45, everything has gone pretty, good for your thesis. And, this is a pretty good time to get in, because think about the situation. It's day 3. It's the time of day. It's 3:17 p.m. There's only 40 minutes or so left. Mm-hmm. It's squeezing. It has solid daily support and is approaching the resistance level. Yeah. And look, the volume has now come back in and is increasing, and the tape is flowing very nicely. So
yeah. I wish this is an ideal situation, but it's a good one to note, because you'll see something similar to this probably very soon. Yeah. These things come and go. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit to see them, but it's good to study them, because you see this over and over again. There's a similar pattern. This is a low float play. You got shorts trapped from the past 2 days, and now it's approaching the 3-day high, right? So let's see. We're gonna fast forward it just a little bit here.
A little 5-minute jump.
And there's the jump.
Wow, that was 5 minutes.
Look at that. Yeah, and that's how quick it could happen there. And look at this run here. I mean, even grabbing it somewhere around here, and if you took it there, you could risk the green to red cut point. But look at now look at this run up here. It's going from the start 430, 425 area, all the way up to 547 in the matter within 10 minutes, under 10 minutes. So let's fast forward. Let's see how it closes. Boom. You get another run. It's holding around 583. And look at that. It goes up even more. Yeah. So crazy run. What is that, like 50%?
Yeah, that's
I don't know, something around there.
$1.50 per share. You can get as many shares as you want. That is a beautiful move in a very short period of time. That is very predictable. We've seen it happen plenty of times. Just look at it. Look at how structured that is. 3 days. You have to understand the mentality of the short seller who is getting trapped. Day 1, day 2, day 3, and all of a sudden it's Friday. Listen, these short sellers have to pay an overnight fee to hold this over the weekend. You think they want to hold this over the weekend? Hell no. So they're gonna cover this. They're gonna cover this, and that mixed with people buying, like us, buying this breakout here, it's too much pressure. It is almost a guarantee that it's going to squeeze.
Yeah.
Beautiful risk reward. Like I said earlier, it's only a 20-cent, maybe 30-cent risk right here for the possibility of making $1.50 a share in within 20-30 minutes.
Go ahead and check us out on social media. We're on all the platforms. You can check us out on Instagram. It's at Stock Snipers there. We post on our story pretty actively. Also, go ahead and make sure you check us out on our Twitter here. On Twitter, we'll go ahead and post throughout the trading day. If you ever have any questions, you want to send them our way on our Twitter, go ahead and do that. We could chat live if you want to do that on there. It's at The Stock Snipers. And then lastly, make sure you give us a follow on Facebook. We just got over 1,000 likes. So much love to all you guys. Thanks. It's motivating us to trade and learn more and keep studying. And lastly, make sure you go ahead and check out our website. We're growing. It's www.thestocksnipers.com. We have the chat room in there. We have, morning watch list every single morning. We have the weekly webinars every single week. We have these trade reviews and some private ones in there. And so that's it, guys. And we'll see you guys, everyone who's with us in the chat room tomorrow. Everyone else, much love. Keep crushing the trading game. See you guys.